Word, it's Brayden Cole with the Critical Hit Productions, and oh shit, it's not Critical Hit Productions I'm doing this on. Oh well, it's Bray Cole 64. That's what I'm doing it on. I have to tell you guys this before I respond to everybody's questions on my question and answer video, which is like the first real video I put up on here, second if you're counting. Someone told me to stay black. On a Critical Hit, they say something, they're like, stay black, Braydog. That's awesome. I should start my videos with stay black, America, but I'm not gonna, just to avoid racism problems. Okay, so here we go. I'm answering your guys' questions. For those of you that do not know, I did upload a video last night talking about Tomb Raider being 30 frames per second on the PlayStation 4 and, or excuse me, on the Xbox One, and 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 4, and how Thief isn't even going to run in 1080p on the Xbox One. I decided this channel is going to be where I cover all my Steam stuff, my micro hate stuff, my you know, just general computer stuff, because a lot of people on Critical Hit don't understand it, and I'll leave the Critical Hit stuff to be like the Nintendo stuff and the Player Essence related stuff and the important stuff, so to speak. But this is my channel where I talk about what I want to talk about. What I want to. Like, you can't criticize me on this channel. This is my channel. I do anything I want. I'll upload. By the way, I got this awesome video of me accidentally falling. My chair just totally snapped in the middle of the video. It's a blooper, so I'll upload that later on. But yeah, let's do the question and answer response here, and I'm gonna start that like right now. So, Ruby, would you please read Deku Itiru's question to me, please? Please read that. Please read the questions as... Yes.
Lucky bastard, I started my new YT a week ago.
Oh wait, that's not a question. He says he started his channel, and good for you, you earned another sub. Hey, thank you, man, and you know what? I'll subscribe to you right now. Deku, I can't pronounce that, but I'm subscribing. You got 8 subscribers now, buddy, because Brayden Cole of a Critical Hit 64 just subscribed to your channel. Alright, I was gonna have Ruby read it, but she's preoccupied. Kid Gamer ID asks, how long did it take you to beat Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? And to you I say, I don't know, I was 8. Let me think. The most recent time I beat it, it only took me about 24 hours, I think, or 25. Because, you know, once you've beaten the game 7 or 8 times, you know how to beat the game, and you go straight through it, so... I don't know, like 20-something. I assume when I was a kid it took me 80-something hours because I was a kid and I couldn't even figure out how to get up Bomb's Battlefield's Mountain, because I was so used to 2D games, transitioning from 6 to 7 years old. Okay, I was so used to 2D games I didn't really understand 3D games when I did have the Nintendo 64 at first. So I don't know. Like, I was 8. Alright, so Ray01X asks, I love Fallout 3 as well as the mods. Only make it better. I just hate how it is glitchy as fuck. I remember being trapped in Rivet City because the game would crash every time I would try to leave. Had to load an earlier save. Got lost. Good lost amount of progress. Sigh. God damn it, Bethesda. Polish up your games once for your life. Anyway, my question is, what's your most anticipated game for 2014 and why? Well, now that you bring it up, Ray01X, also on Fallout, yes, it is one of the most glitchy things. I think it's really fixed up now, especially on PC. And yes, I remember having to go backtrack a couple of times because of getting glitched into rocks, believe it or not. And there's same thing with New Vegas. It's just a glitchy game, but you just get that with Bethesda games and you love it. Love them for it. Most anticipated game for 2014 right now is, dude, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really underwhelmed with the amount of games that's coming out in 2014, at least announced games. And unless something spectacular happens in the next couple of months, I'm going to be really let down in terms of games being released this year. I'm not really anticipated for any of them so far. Rodney Smith says, I'm subscriber 28. Good job, man. I thank you. And you're going to be known for that from now on. Rodney Smith, subscriber 28. Asks, what kind of content can we expect from your channel back on ACHP? And I'm going to answer that question kind of again. All the Nintendo stuff, all the Hate the Player Not the Game, all Josh's videos, all Jake's videos, we're just going to continue doing what we've been doing and try to get this schedule thing that I wanted to start on the 20th, but everybody else didn't really want to start. Josh, and so we're gonna try to get that whole schedule thing going. And this channel is gonna be the one for like more of my Steam, more of my Microsoft rants and stuff like that. So, Rodney Smith, subscriber 28. Your question has been answered. The Magnum 924 asks me, what game series would you like to see make a return? And to you, Magnum 924, I would like to see Fallout 4 be made, and I would like to see it made with a brand new engine, and I would like to see it released in 2014. Doubt it. Probably won't be. Maybe at the end of it if we're lucky, but I'd like to see Fallout return because that is something that I would love. If not that, then I'd like to see. I like to see a reboot of Deus Ex, and I'd like to see a sequel to Deus Ex, exclusive to the Wii U. God damn it. The Metal Gamer Alex Montalvo asks me, do you believe in the rumored specs of the Nintendo Fusion Terminal? I don't. Plus, which one is your favorite band? Mine is Megadeth and Stryper. Oh, cool question. Okay, to the Metal Gamer Alex Montalvo, please correct me if I'm wrong saying that. I'm not sure. I did do a 10-minute video over at a Critical Hit, so you can go check that out. It seems like a logical jump on everything except the Nintendo DS Fusion. It seems like a logical upgrade that they would have, but it seems like the handheld portion of it's a little bit beefy. And if that is the case, it may be because it may be a bundle, like a console handheld bundle, and you could play the ports of the consoles on the go. Maybe that's why it's so outstandingly much more than I figured it would be compared to the 3DS's specifications. And my favorite bands, I like Megadeth better than Metallica, I'll tell you that right now. So if anybody wants to fight with me over that, Metallica, I never did like them. I like Megadeth. But my two favorite top bands right now ever would be Tool and Nirvana. Well, maybe, I don't know, I like Infamous Jake and the Pinstripe Mafia right now, and I like the White Stripes too. So I don't know. Let's see, we got Master Mango. Will you ever make a Draw My Life? By the way, I'm one of them hipsters. I told him I could do that. So, yes, I could do that sometime. Green Stuffed Worm. Have you ever been with a man before? No. Why does people think I'm gay? Just because I have a high-pitched voice don't mean I'm gay, y'all. Okay, just because I was raised by a girl. Okay? I didn't have a dad growing up. My dad died. I found him on the floor dead when he was 12. Me and my sister both did. So I got raised by a girl, did not get taught how to fix a car. I did not get taught how to shave properly. I don't have manly figures around me on a day-to-day basis. So, no, I'm not gay. I was just raised by a girl. So, no, I've never been with a man before, and no, I'm not fucking gay. But I do enjoy pro wrestling, if that makes me any kind of a fag in any way. Okay, hey bro, been loving the content on CH64. Also, the guy over at Player Essence, my question for you is this. With the latest news about the Wii U sales, where does Nintendo go from here? How I see it, Nintendo needs to bring some of its really fun mini games that they have onto the app stores for Android and Apple, like the ones they include on a new Super Mario Bros. On the DS, or even the ones on Mario Party. I don't think putting on the big guns in the App Store would be wise, but the mini games are fun to sell, and this would be a win for everyone. What do you think? What do I think? I think that's what he's saying. Justin Brown. I think that's a great idea. I think that the mini games, and also, remember Nintendo's releasing those retro remixes? I think they should have released those on the iPad. I think they should have released those on Android. Those aren't benefiting Nintendo players in any way, and those would only benefit from being on the Apple iStore, on the Android App Store, on those kind of devices. I don't believe in putting full games on it, like you said. I don't want them to put full titles because then that's going to not only hurt places like Disc Replay, who sell retro Nintendo games and retro games in general. That's going to bring the prices of those games down. Nintendo games. Okay, look at the bin of Sega Genesis games at your local retro game store. Then go look at the bin of Super Nintendo games. You tell me which ones are worth more. You tell me, besides Tetris for Sega Genesis, you tell me which Sega Genesis games are worth more than any of its counterparts on the Super Nintendo. They're not, because Nintendo has a seal of quality and a code that keeps their products valuable. It's just a secret that Nintendo does, but I do agree with you on the App Store and the mini games and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. I think it would help them too a lot financially. What are your favorite games? Top 10, and give a reason why you rank them so. I think I made a top 10 games of last generation, but this is from Farre Farre88. Let's see. What are my top 10 favorite games of all time? This is going to be a real rough list, so please bear with me. Mario RPG, best game ever made, period. It introduced me to video gaming really hard. First game I ever rented, I was about 5-6 years old. First game I ever just dove into immersively. Okay, like extremely immersively. I don't know. I can't really answer that right now. Banjo-Kazooie is one of my favorite games of all time. Fucking GoldenEye is one of my favorite games of all time. Deus Ex Human Revolution is one of my favorite games of all time. Fallout 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know. Some of my more, I would say, like, weird games. Batten Kaitos is one of my favorite games of all time, bar none. One of the best RPGs ever made by Monolith Soft, and Tri Crescendo. There's a lot of games like that. I can't really do a top 10 without really sitting down and thinking, but that's a lot of them. Clever Kid 456 asks, if Kingdom Hearts were to get a Wii U release, how good do you think it would do? I think it would do awesome. All the core people, all the girls, all the people who like Harvest Moon, all the people who like the Pokemon titles on the DS handhelds. A lot of the Kingdom Hearts fans are Nintendo fans, believe it or not, and because I see people with their Game Boy Advance versions, I see people with their DS versions, I see those people, same people, going and playing the PlayStation 2 versions, not really having a PlayStation 3 version to play. So I think all the core Kingdom Hearts fans would easily, in drones, and drones, that's not the word, whatever, and like masses would go over to the Wii U, and I think it would be an extremely successful day for Nintendo. This 09 guy asks, what is your favorite memories of Nintendo and why you want Microsoft to burn and suffer? What happened? Jeez, we have to do this again, okay. Microsoft has effed me over since the Xbox 360. I had a good run with them on the original Xbox, and then when the Xbox 360 came out, it gave me nothing but problems. I owned 3 or 4 different Xbox 360s, okay? They broke. They all broke. They all overheated. They all red ringed. They all broke. Okay, I can't have that happening because you spend $300 and then another $300 and then another. That can't happen. Okay, I'm not waiting for Microsoft's return policy. I want to play fucking games. Another thing is the Banjo-Kazooie totally killed it. Banjo Nuts and Bolts. What were they doing? They fucked that up. They fucked up my life and my childhood. They destroyed that. The Xbox One is no better. Can't even run a game at 60 frames per second. Can't even run a game in 1080p. There's just mass amounts of reasons why. I can't get into every reason. There's about probably 100 reasons. What is my favorite memories of Nintendo? That's me having a Super Nintendo, me cleaning the gunk out of the start button, like the side of the Super Nintendo, and on the Nintendo 64. I just remember cleaning gunk out of that because I had Cheetos on my hands when I was a kid. I remember cleaning the gunk out of the controllers. I remember playing blowing on the games, even though that really is irrelevant at this point. People found out that really don't matter. Mario RPG, Mario 64, those are my main memories. Mischief Makers was one of my big Nintendo memories. I can remember that game just ever so well. And a lot of the best memories were of me with Josh when we were kids. We'd have to shut the cussing off on South Park, and there was no real way to do it because of his mom when we were like 8 years old, and so we just had to turn down the music or the sound effects entirely, and it's just really funny because he could play Age of Empires, but he couldn't play South Park because it makes no sense, right? Like that's what kind of logic is that? Lisa, all right. Spudling81 asks me, when do you think Nintendo will bring out the next DS? Be a few more years, maybe 4 or 5 even, because of the success of the 3DS. And that it wraps it up. That's everybody's questions, at least I think so far. If I missed anybody's questions, please comment on this video, and thank you for watching this video. It's me, Brayden Cole. See you later.